Good evening, Jamie. Are you here to assist tonight also as well?
Yes, Howard. I could be host today.
I can't hear you. I'm sorry. Can you repeat that?
I said I could be the host today. I could help.
Yeah, I don't know if we can both do that. It doesn't matter. I was asked to do tonight. So, and I know you're going to be doing another meeting. Was that whatever the case is, I can either fall back or you can assume host responsibilities.
Yes, I could do it tonight.
That's great. I'll sit back and we can have a nice meditation and a nice Dhamma talk. It's nice to have you do this. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good evening, Mr. Howard.
Good evening, Bhante.
Me be happy.
Thank you,
Me
Bhante.
Suki. Okay. Right. Everyone, please say 3 times together. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So, good evening to everyone. Once again, I would like to wish everyone a very happy spiritual evening. So, today is 28th, 28th, October 2022. And today is the last day of Vipassana meditation. So throughout the year, we started practicing Vipassana on May, but we started meditation program since January. So from January to April, we practice breathing meditation. And we learn how to develop the mindfulness, concentration with it. And then after that, since May, we started practicing Vipassana meditation. Using that very same concentration, we started to understand the realities about ourselves. So we started to understand actually we are changing from moment to moment. So we understood the nature of impermanence. Not from any kind of a book, but you started to understand that through your own experience. So you realize that each and every moment you are changing, and there is no any eternal being that can hold as I, my. by this way, by developing this understanding, you started to let go of your negativities. So there are so many negativities that we develop because of this misunderstanding. So since we think that there is an eternal life, so we develop attachment towards all the things, so inner things and outer things. But and at the same time, if someone did some kind of an irritating thing towards us, we were used to get angry. And sometimes because of the other people, other things, we develop fear, and we develop jealousy, and we have various kinds of negativities like that. So and at the same time, if something was pleasant or someone was pleasant, we develop desire, right? Craving with it. So this is the habitual pattern of all human beings, not only human beings, in the other beings too. So through Vipassana meditation, you started to change this pattern. You started to learn. You started to research. Actually, what is the real truth? Is there any eternal life within me? So when you're observing, you realize that when you're observing sensations from bottom to top and top to bottom, you started realizing that first you were focusing on your sensations. When these sensations arise and pass, when you observe them arise and pass away from moment to moment, you realize that you are actually changing each and every moment. And there is no any eternal being with it. So joining the 5 aggregates. What are the 5 aggregates? Form, and then sensations, and then after that, then signals, then after that, mental perception and consciousness. Joining these 5 things together, there is this being. But actually, these 5 things too, they are changing very fast. They are changing very, very fast, and for that speed, there is no any measure. So you realize mentally you are changing, physically you are changing very fast. So this impermanence is there, and there is no any being that you can get angry at, right? So no use of getting angry, no use of developing fear, no use of developing jealousy, no use of developing ill will. So then you let your mind to subside. You let your mind to join with the peace. Now, this is not the peace anymore, the peace that you develop through breathing meditation. Now it is going, even though you are developing slowly, you are developing to a level of peace which is beyond the general level, right? So so during the breathing meditation, you were not that much focused on the truth, but anymore it is not. Now you are developing you are seeing the truth, and you have started to recognize the truth as it is. So the truth related to your body, truth related to the outside. So then what happened? Gradually, every day by the practice of Vipassana, you could let go at least somewhat of your negativity. So I don't say that you will become enlightened within these 6 months. No, but at least you could understand what's happening within, and you could understand. You could get an idea. So actually, who you are, right? You could get an idea to understand who actually you are, and then gradually you started to develop a deeper peace. You started to keep steps to develop a deeper peace. Deeper peace than the peace that you developed in through breathing meditation. So now this peace goes along with the truth. So not only you don't develop this not only by focus, you develop this by understanding, right? So that's why they are different. So first peace, that the peace that you develop through breathing meditation, it is based upon focus. But now this peace is based upon the understanding. Not you are not developing any Buddhist or Hindu or Christian or Muslim or Jain or atheist or agnostic understanding. You are seeing the things as they actually are, right? So true, they were told by me, the Buddha and many other spiritual teachers, but now you are really witnessing them all by yourself. Now it's the peace, it becomes, even though it's slow, now it's becoming deeper and deeper and deeper. So that's what you develop throughout these 6 months. So new meditators, they will learn the technique later on, not right now, since the rope of your bucket is not long enough. You can't take water. You can't take water from the well. So just like that. So since your concentration is not enough, new meditators, they will have to wait. But all students, those who are practicing vipassana, so they went to at least a small depth. Even though you got a small progress, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. Even a small understanding that you get, it can change your life. That is the great thing about vipassana. Even though you get a small understanding, it changes your life. So I hope that all the vipassana meditators might have felt it, but you have to work hard more, right? So now what's happening? So gradually, when you practice further, then vipassana meditators are asked to practice vipassana at homes too. But even though we don't teach vipassana during the next 2 months. So next week we don't have meditation because we have a ceremony at our temple, a big ceremony. If you like, you can also come and participate. So therefore, we don't have next week meditation, and we will have a break. And next week, you will start to learn loving kindness meditation. All the new meditators, everybody will learn one technique, loving kindness meditation. So, but vipassana meditators are asked to practice this continuously. So sometimes you will encounter these experiences. At that time, please practice like this. So when you are, if you are fortunate enough, if you practice well, what will happen is, so when you are observing the sensations with the proper understanding of impermanence, then what will happen is, later on, these gross sensations will dissolve. And then after that, throughout the body, at first you will feel subtler vibrations, parts of subtler vibrations in certain areas of the body. When you start feeling that, don't think you are enlightened. So good that you are in that stage. You came up this far because you have come to a good point. But still, there is a long way to go. So don't very excited. So in certain areas of your body, you will feel subtler sensations. At first, certain areas, but don't feel so much excited. Understand this is also a sensation which will pass away. And if you are contented enough, or if you give more importance to that, then what will happen is instead of progressing, you stop your progress. So be aware, and when you keep on observing the parts that have general gross sensations, and these new subtler sensations with a balanced mind. With a balanced mind. So what you should develop is the understanding, the true understanding of impermanence. So what is the most important? The most important thing is so letting go of the negativity, not the sensations. It doesn't matter what type of sensations that you encounter. So in the right understanding is the key. That's where everything changes. Right understanding changes the right concept, then it goes on up to the 8th step within. So then when you observe in the same way, if you could observe with the balanced mind, then you will be able to observe that those subtler sensations, the areas of those subtler sensations, so you will encounter more and more. And later on, if you could proceed more, then you will start to feel those vibrations, those vibrations throughout the body, from top to bottom, bottom to top. At that time, too, don't feel so much excited. Keep on observing, part by part, pitch by pitch. So keep on observing the sensations as they actually are. And then the more you observe, so the more you will develop the more you will strengthen your understanding about impermanence. So, and then what will happen is, there'll be a moment that you will feel like your whole body dissolve into these vibrations. So everywhere, wherever you touch, wherever you observe, only vibration. So they flow bottom to top, top to bottom, bottom to top. They are there. Even right now we have this. What has happened is your mind, your sensibility has become so much sharp. Your balance of mind has become very sharp. That's why you feel. They are not peculiar things which has arisen because of some kind of miracle. No, they are still there. Since we have a gross mindset, we can't feel it. So now keep on observing, and while you're observing, so then gradually when you observe, there'll be a point that your understanding becomes understanding will reach a level that you will feel like your whole body burst off, right? So your whole body becomes very subtle, right? So that moment, it is called as Banga moment, but everything is not. Now you feel subtle sensation. Sometimes you will start feeling more gross sensations too. Don't feel frustrated. Keep on observing again with maintaining the balance of mind. Then, as always, make sure that you understand this. Understanding is the most important thing, not the sensations that you encounter. Let your understanding become stronger and stronger and stronger. And then gradually, you will start losing. So you will start letting go of certain negativities inside us. So number one, so this strong notion of I, it will go. You will understand that mind and body, they are interdependent. They are changing continuously. Since they interact with each other, there is this I, but actually there is no any eternal I. So this understanding will become very strong. And then after that, at the same time, so doubts about the technique will completely go, because now you have let go. You have let go of so many negativities. So because of that, now you are so sure about the technique. So then, no doubting, you keep on moving forward. And at the same time, you understand by doing various kinds of other things, you will understand that these negativities cannot be eradicated. So some people, so let's say, some people do, so during the Buddhist time, some people lived as a dog, lived as a cat, or lived as a cow, thinking that they can attain enlightenment. So they have such kind of fantasy. Anymore, these kinds of fantasies won't come. Now you understand this is the way. And then these three things will get eradicated. So, and you will reach the first stage of freedom, first stage of deliverance. It is called as Sotapanna. And then we still, when you practice further and further and further, what will happen is another two massive negativities will start to become weak. Number one, strong sensual desire. It will become, so even though you attain the first stage of enlightenment, you have that, right? So for an example, during the Buddhist time, there were certain people within the first stage, right? But still, they have many children. So don't be afraid that all those negativities will go away. So at the first stage, so when you read the second stage, so this sensual desire towards everything, and at the same time, strong anger, deep-rooted anger, both of them will become weakened. And then, when you practice further, when you read the third stage of freedom, third stage of eternal peace, what will happen is both these, sensual desire, and you will realize that actually the sensual desire arises because of our ignorance. The more you start to know about your body and mind, now the more stronger your understanding becomes. Then sensual desire, and at the same time strong anger, deep-rooted aversion, both of them will go, and you'll reach the third stage. But still, you have the pride, you have the notion I. So when you practice further and further and further, what will happen is you will realize more and more and more, more and more and more deeply that everything is actually changed. Then you will realize that there is no I for sure. And your pride, your strong notion of I will go away. And you will become a fully free person. That means you will attain the eternal peace and eternal happiness. This is how you will proceed, right? So It is the same technique that you have to practice. So there is no any other technique, but you have to be patient. As always, I mentioned, this is not like quick noodles. Today you do, tomorrow you become enlightened. That doesn't happen. So you have, so yeah, as lay people, you have so many duties. So while doing all those duties, so please practice this one too. It can bring enormous benefits for this life. In the long run, when you practice ardently, little by little, very patiently, you will be able to get rid of most of the negativities that you have, and finally, you will be able to attain real peace, real happiness in Nirvana. So work hard. This is the path that you're going, right? Good, you kept the first step forward. Many people have the courage to keep the first step forward, but after a while, they leave. Some people continue for some period of time, and again, they also sink. So they also leave. Only a very few, very fortunate, so strong-willed people will reach the eternal peace. Somehow, even though you won't attain that sooner, the more negativities that you let go, the more happiness you will enjoy, the more peace you will enjoy in life. That's what we need. That's why we live. That's what we always want to have. So please practice very honestly. So now, for the last time, we are going to practice Vipassana. So those who are practicing Vipassana meditation, please keep on practicing Vipassana. And the new meditators, they are kindly requested to practice breathing meditation. So please observe the breath. When it is coming in, be fully aware. When it is going out, be fully aware. If it is gross, if it is soft, if it is long, if it is short, let it be so. Just keep on being aware. Practice very ardently, very patiently, for your own benefit, for your own peace, and for your own happiness. Right? And Vipassana meditators, for the last time, so start observing the sensations from the top of your head, and part by part, pitch by pitch, keep on observing sensations up to the tips of the toes. And again, please start from the tip of the toes, and part by part, pitch by pitch, very patient. Observe the sensations to the top. Whatever the sensations that you encounter, understand they are impermanent, continuously changing. No I, no mind, nothing to say, and nothing to recognize as my eternal soul. We are changing. Now, everyone, please keep your back straight, neck straight, head straight. Please keep your right palm on your left palm. As usual, let me pay our respect to the Buddha, and then we are going to start. Namo tase bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhase. Namo tase bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhase. Namo tase bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhase. Itimeso bhagava arahang samma sambuddho vijjācarana sampanno sugato lokamido anuttaro purisa dhamma sarati zatta deva manusanam Buddho bhagavati swakato bhagavatanam sannitthiko akaliko ehi passiko opanaiko paccattam veditam vinyuhiti supanipanno bhagavatu savaka sangho Ujupanipanno bhagavato savaka sangho Nyayapanipanno bhagavato savaka sangho Samichi patipanno bhagavato savaka sangho Yatinam chattari purisa yugani Atte purisa pungalam Esa bhagavato savaka sangho Amuneyo pamuneyo Nakineyo anjali karaniyo Anutterang punyaketang lokasanti Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. With a very calm mind, with a very quiet mind, with an alert, very attentive mind, balanced and very equanimous mind. Everyone, please start your meditation. If you are practicing Vipassana meditation, please do so. If you are practicing breathing meditation, please do so. Give you everything and work very ardently for your own benefit, for first, and then secondly, for the benefit of others. Work very ardently, very patiently. Please start your meditation right now. Now, everyone, please keep the eyes closed. But the new meditators, if you want to change your posture, you can change your legs, but keep the eyes closed. Maintain the eyes always closed. Let your body to relax. We are going to practice loving kindness meditation. In brief, we are going to share our loving kindness with all the beings in the world. Starting from you, you are going to spread loving kindness towards all the beings, group by group. So now, let's start sharing loving kindness. First, please spread loving kindness towards yourself. May I be well. May I be happy. May I be peaceful. May I be very peaceful. Please spread loving kindness towards yourself. Now, let's spread our loving kindness towards our dear parents, teachers, relatives, and friends. May my parents, may my teachers, my relatives, and friends be well, be happy, be peaceful. May they be very peaceful. Spread your loving kindness towards your parents, teachers, relatives, and friends. Now let's spread our loving kindness towards the neutral people. Those who are neither our friends, who are neither our enemies. Towards the people who are in the middle. May all the neutral beings, neutral people be well. May all the neutral people be happy. May all the neutral people be peaceful. May they be very peaceful. Spread loving kindness towards all the neutral people. Now let's spread our loving kindness towards the enemies. We have enormous amount of negativities. Sometimes we are overpowered by them. Not only us, our enemy is the same. That's why we do negative things in life. First of all, please forgive them for their ignorance. And please forgive yourself for your ignorance. Spread loving kindness towards your enemies. May your enemies also be well. May your enemies also be happy. May your enemies also be peaceful. May they be very peaceful. Spread loving kindness towards the enemies. Now let's share our loving kindness with all the beings in the universe. Let it be human beings, then let it be the other beings. Why not human? Let it be fish, let it be other animals, let it be any visible or invisible being. Let them have various kinds of differences. With loving kindness, you embrace every one of them. Please share your loving kindness with all beings. May all beings be well. May all beings be happy. May all beings be peaceful. May all beings be very peaceful. Very peaceful. Spread loving kindness towards all the beings. All the beings. Now, everyone very calmly, very quietly, very patiently. Please open your eyes slowly. Slowly. Now let your whole body to relax. Now please join your palms together and please say 3 times. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So, dear Dhamma friends, so Vipassana meditation sessions for the year 2022 are over. So, as I mentioned, Vipassana meditators who put the Vipassana practice, please work ardently at home, right? If you are doing, let's say, 30 minutes meditation, so 5 minutes breathing meditation, then 20 minutes Vipassana, and 5 more minutes loving kindness meditation. Please practice like that at home. So if you do lesser, so give the maximum time for Vipassana, and then lesser time for the other 2 meditation techniques, right? So meanwhile, so as I mentioned mentioned previously in other previous meditation sessions, so if you have problems in concentration, please practice walking meditation at home, right? It will help you. And then at the same time, make sure you practice so sharing loving kindness with the other people, whoever meet in your life. So whenever you encounter them, first of all, start sharing loving kindness. May this person be well. May this person be happy. May this person be peaceful and relaxed, right? And at the same time, there are make sure you keep on practicing your mindfulness habit too, right? Every day I ask you to choose one chore, one of the chores, the chores that you do at home daily, and then do it with awareness. So make sure you do that too. And so after this week, we are going to practice loving kindness meditation. And next week, we don't have the meditation because we have a big ceremony at the temple. If you like, you can join. So we have on Friday evening, we have at 7, we have a chanting. And on the following day, morning and daytime, we have another ceremony. If you like, you can join, right? So after that, we will start loving kindness meditation on the 11th Friday. And then during the first month, we will practice the first. So there are 2 techniques. So first technique will be taught within the month of November. Second technique will be taught in the month of December, right? This is how it will go. Hope you like it. So this is just like when so in Asia, so when the in Asia earlier we cooked with, even nowadays, so we cook with firewood. After cooking, what they do is they take some, mostly mothers, they take some water and they sprinkle, right? They sprinkle to let the temperature go down. If not, if they don't pay attention, sometimes it can make fires, can start a fire. So just like that now, so you have to give a lot of energy to practice breathing meditation, and after that Vipassana meditation. Now loving kindness meditation is just like sprinkling water on that hot stuff, on that hot firewood, right? So it will help you to cool down, right? Cool down your body and mind, right? So give you everything and practice very ardently. So today I'm going to teach you about the 6 perfections. Almost I taught you about 5 perfections that you have to practice within as a Vipassana meditator. Number 1, generosity. Number 2, very nice key then, right? Number 3, yes, letting go. Right. Number 4, Jaime, can you remember? Right.
Yes.
Mr. Fahd, can you
Wisdom.
remember? Yes.
Wisdom.
Yes, very nice. Good job. All right. Wisdom. And 5th one, Mr. Howard.
Energetic diligence, or what is it?
Yes.
Yes.
Energy. That means effort. Yes, very good. Very good, Mr. Howard. And 6th one. So 6th one is patience. Many people don't have this one. Patience. So patience is twofold: general patience and so deeper, so supramundane patience. There are two. General patience is the patience that you need to develop in your day-to-day life, right? Some people are very impatient, right? They always want things fast. So recently, one of my students' mother. So we have a Dhamma school, and that student's mom came to me and told me that their 13 years old daughter is very impatient. So whenever she wants something, until they buy it, she can't stay patient. She shouts and she do so many struggles. And so it was treated, but somehow nowadays there are so many people who are struggling with this impatience. Uh, so that patience that we need to develop in life, it's the general one. But when you practice spiritually, especially in Vipassana meditation, the patience that you develop, it's supramundane, right? It's not easy to observe part by part, pitch by pitch, your own body patiently. So so most of the Vipassana meditators complain, oh, but they are one strong sensation popped up somewhere else, my mind went away, right? So they complain like that. So our mind goes there because the patient level is not reached to that supramundane point. But gradually, if you practice ardently, you'll reach there, right? So general patience. So so there are patience should be practiced in 4 kinds of occasions. What are the 4 kinds of occasions that we need to practice patience? Number 1, so when there are natural disturbances. What are natural disturbances? So we have heat. Let's say it's a hot day. You have to bear it. You have to develop patience. You should not hate that. You have to accept, as a meditator, you have to accept the reality with a balanced mind. Now it's hot. What you do with a calm mind, you do whatever you can do to make you and the other people comfortable. And at the same time, you try not to develop irritating feelings towards that heat. You try to make your mind balanced. And by that way, you don't let your anger to rise, right? You don't let your mind to mess up. You let your concentration, your awareness to prevail. And then, let's say it's raining. You have to go somewhere. Let's say you have Super Bowl, you want to go and watch that, but it's raining. So again, you don't. Again, you try to practice your balance of your mind, right? And there are so many other things like we have winter time, we have summertime, so we have all these kinds of seasons, right? So they are natural. when they come, we have to be aware. And we should not feel irritated. We have to accept that this is how the nature is. Everything is changing. So bearing that, we have to develop patience. So that's number one. Number two, you have to develop patience. So we need food, we need clothes, we have a roof to live. So we need a house to live. And at the same time, we need medication. But sometimes there are times that we don't get there. At such times, instead of developing anger and frustration, we should try to maintain the balance of mind. You have to accept the reality, and without getting angry, you should try to find. So instead of scolding at the ministers and the government or anyone, so system, you should try to find a way to solve that patiently. So you should not develop any irritating or angry. So you should develop the skill of staying with the patients. And then that's number two. Needs, requisites. When you don't get your requisites, at that time too, you should develop your patience. And then because of the creatures, you have to feel pain. Let's say sometimes mosquitoes come and bite you, right? Because of other, because of snakes, because of various kinds of other animals, you have in life, we have to face various kinds of difficulties. If it is so, at that time, you have to be patient. You have to understand the reality. Instead of getting angry at any of those beings, you have to make sure you take care of yourself. Right? So you should let your mind to be with patience, calmness, and you should safeguard the concentration that you develop. Right? And then number four. So sometimes people have enemies, right? There are people that you don't like. So from them, sometimes you have to face various kinds of difficulties. At such times too, you have to bear. So that is the most difficult part. But still, with compassion, right? Pitying their ignorance, you have to bear with them. You have to practice patience. So these are the basic level of patience that you need to develop. Mundane one, general patience. If you don't have this, then you can't have the deeper one. So you have to be skillful to practice this first, right? So it's useful not only for Vipassana meditators, so the other meditators, meditators who joined recently too. So then, so whenever such things happen, you have to develop patience. And so deeper patience is hard to develop. It's not easy. So whenever you feel pain in your body, so you can't, at once, some of you still don't have the ability to stand up and bear it and develop the understanding of impermanence on that. You can't develop the balance of mind yet. So it happens because we see, as I mentioned, so that supramundane patience. So some people think by escaping to forest, they can develop this. So it's not easy. So it doesn't matter whether you live at a village, at a town or a village or at a forest. Patience should be developed within, not from outside, right? So small story. So once one monk thought he cannot develop patience by living at the village. So he decided he'll go to a forest. So he went to forest monastery. Now he is alone at the forest. One day, one of his friends wanted to meet this one. So he went all the way to the forest to meet this one. And both of them talked to each other, and he asked how about your food and everything. And then he asked one, at the end, the friend who came from town, he asked, Bhante, why did you come to the forest? Then this one said, I came to the forest to practice patience. So then that Bhante asked, so how many years are you practicing patience? For 7 years. So then that Bhante asked, so why can't you practice patience so at the town? So without interacting with anybody, how can you develop patience? Then that Bhante got very upset, very angry. Why did you come to ask questions from me? Go into the very place that you came from. So that was his reply. So did you come to ask such kind of questions from me and destroy my patience? Go to the place that you already came from, right? So it's not easy. It's difficult, but I'm glad. So even by sitting like this for about 1 hour, you develop that, at least to a tiny bit of that. So even though you couldn't concentrate well when you come for the group sitting, still by sitting like this, without telling anything, so you develop enormous amount of patience. That's good for your life. So you develop small bit of supramundane patience. It will help you immensely in your day-to-day life. But the real patience comes when you practice it within, as I mentioned. So when you interact with the sensations, you have to practice patience. And at the same time, when you interact, when you observe your mind, and when you tame your mind, you have to practice patience. So whenever some kind of facilitating incident comes into your mind, it's not easy to bear with that and practice loving kindness, right? So you remember, oh, that person hit me, that person scolded me, that person defeated me, that person did this to me, that person did that to me. When you think like that, you're on the cross. But so supramundane, you develop supramundane patience whenever you bear with it and you start to understand, oh, that person had a lot of negativity. Because of the negativity that person had during that time, he or she did this, he or she did that. But now I'm a developed person. Now I understand these things happen not automatically because of our own negativity. So just like so when babies do wrong things, right? So when babies so when they are young, they do various mysterious stuff, right? Sometimes they take the cups and they throw them away, and the cup, sometimes those cups are very expensive, but they break. Mother doesn't scold the child. Mother goes and so first of all she takes the child away from those broken stuff, and then she cleans the place. She doesn't develop anger. Now you should be the same. Oh, poor person. That person didn't understand that he or she was working with his or her own negativities. Oh, poor person. Now since I practice, I really know now. So I should, as a person who knows this, I should not develop anger. I should not develop these kinds of negativities towards that person. Thinking so, you calm down yourself. You develop patience. And on the top of it, you start spreading loving kindness. May that person be able to change. May that person be able to understand his or her own faults. May that person don't do such kind of things again. And may that person be able to change. May that person be well, happy, and peaceful. When you develop your patience, and along with that, when you practice loving kindness, the patience gets stronger and stronger and stronger, right? And so in the general world, where nature is, to develop thoughts of revenge. So even in films, the hero that we know, what he does is taking revenge. And all the people think, oh, that's the way. But actual hero that's good for films, but in actual life, the hero is who practices the patience. Not film heroes are like that, but in actual life, the superhero is who has the patience. So if someone can, that's why you pay respect to Buddhist monks, Hindu monks, so like that, religious teachers, you pay respect because they have this quality. It's not easy to practice. Maybe you are not such kind of monks, but still you should start practicing that. Instead of whenever someone did such kind of a thing, you have to think about their negativities. You have to think about your level of negativity. Just like a mother looks at the son's faults or daughter's faults, you have to look at it. Oh, poor person. That this person didn't have the chance to encounter a meditation technique like this. Wonderful one. Non-sectarian. That's why this person is like that. We are fortunate when we compare them with us. So why should not get them? So when you think like that, you calm down. Right? Develop the loving kindness of a mother towards that person. It doesn't mean you keep quiet. You should teach, if it is possible, if you think like that person is a listener and who can change, who will change. So you have to let them know. And if it is something more criminal or something like that, you have to take legal actions. But inside, you should not develop anger. Right? That's very important. Instead, you have to practice patience and loving kindness. Okay. So then, practicing. So without changing inside. So if someone multiply the skill, the ability to stay without changing inside at such kind of incident with the help of wisdom. And if someone maintains awareness with loving kindness, so at such kind of incidents, that person is practicing the perfection of patience. So That's what you are doing. So during the Buddhist time, this incident happened during the Buddhist time. So after the 20th year, that means Buddha taught for 20 years. After 20 years, Buddhist teaching started to spread all over the neighboring countries like wildfire, right? So Nepal, Afghanistan, and modern Pakistan, and Iran, Iraq. So while Buddha was alive, these teachings, these practices that we are practicing, they reached even up to those countries. Those days there was no internet, no Google, nothing. Just by words, just because of the perseverance of those days teachers, it reached and started helping so many people. At the same time, there were certain people who were against this, right? One group was Ajivatas. So before the Buddha, they had a lot of followers, but after the Buddha, they started losing people. So this incident happened where Buddha's teaching was the Buddha's teaching was becoming popular, and where Ajivika's power was going down. So they decided to defame the Buddha. They asked one lady called Chinchimanavika to do something to defame the Buddha. They asked her to go to Buddha's. They asked her to do something that she that she can plan. So what she did, she went several days for several days in the evening. In the evening, so with the other people, she entered the temple. Early in the morning, when people come, she slept inside the temple, because Jetavanaram temple is a huge temple and it's a huge area. She slept under a tree. Early in the morning, when she was returning, the other people were going towards the temple to offer dana to the Bhante. So when she saw them, she always said, so when they asked where she went, she said, I had a great night with the Buddha. So she didn't say what she did or didn't do. So she just said this. This was her reply. And after several months, so she disguised herself. So she took some firewood, she opened firewood, and then so she tied them to her stomach. And by that way, she looked herself pregnant. And she went inside the temple, and there was a huge gathering. There was the king and the prime minister and the other ministers who were there, and many officials, many areas who has come to listen to the Dhamma of the Buddha evening teaching. In front of them, she said, "O Buddha, so now it is the time." Then Buddha asked, what that is? So she said, because of you, now I am 9 months pregnant. So ask all these people, I'll ask all these people to take care of me. You have this king, you have these millionaires and everyone, so ask them to support. Then the Buddha, he had practiced a lot of patience. He is the greatest person to practice the patience to the utmost limit. He stayed calm, and he knew that if he said one word no, they are going to hit him. So he was tricky. He said, "Dear sister, only you and me know the truth, no one else. Because Buddha wanted to make her safe too. But this was an answer that she didn't expect. She didn't have any answer to give. So suddenly she trembled with fear. And so because of her fear, the ties which tied those pieces of wood, they got loosened and they dropped on the ground. And then people saw her and they said, so the sinful lady, they shouted the sinful lady and started running after her to harm her. Then Buddha said, don't harm her. And then she left. So then later on, after the death, because of that sin, she was born in a bad realm. So somehow, at that time, since Buddha if Buddha went to argue with her, then there'll be another scandal. Instead, since Buddha kept his patience, what happened? Totally unexpected. What was unexpected, it happened. So the truth was revealed to everyone. So somehow we have to practice patience in life. Start with the general patience. Start bearing with the first four. The four things that you have to bear, practice patience generally. And then develop the supramundane patience meanwhile. And gradually practicing it and diverting it into your own practice, may you be able to come out of all the negativities and attain real peace, real happiness, purification of mind, Nibbana. With those thoughts, we are going to conclude. Now everyone please think. Together all of us gathered here, and then we practiced this non-sectarian meditation technique and accumulated a lot of positive energy. By the power of this positive energy, may all your troubles be away. May all good things happen in your life. May you have a long life with beauty, mental and physical strength, comfort, and wisdom. Practicing the Dhamma path very ardently. May all of you able to attain real peace, real happiness, purification of mind, Nibbana. With those thoughts, please join your palms together and consecrate for blessings. Abhivadana silise nityang vada pachainu chattaro dhamma vadanti ayuvagno sukhang balang ayurarogya sampatti sagga sampatti mevache ato nibbana sampatti iminati samijjato. May all be well, may all be happy, may all be very, very peaceful. Sukhi hotu, Sukhi hotu. Good night to everyone. Next week we don't have the meditation. Let's meet together in the next week on the 11th of November. Sukhi hotu. Good night. Good night, everyone. Right. Good night, Jaime.
Good night, Bhante. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your help. And
My
Mr.
pleasure.
Hoad, good night.
Good night, Bhante, and thank you, Jaime.
Yeah, may you be happy. May you always be happy, Mr. Hoad. And Mrs. Meena, good night.
Good night. Thank you, Bante.
May you be happy, Mrs. Meena. Good night.